Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. Guys, let's just take a minute to talk about how we feel today because the next segment, it's not going to be very fun. So I want to start today. Today is a beautiful Thursday, May 8th, 2025. It's Friday Junior, I like to call it.
It's Friday Junior. It's Thirsty Thursday to those who celebrate. But most importantly, over the last 2 days, we figured out the Cleveland Guardians might have the best offense in baseball. I mean, this team is just putting up runs left and right every single day. So, yeah, we got to have a good day. We got to find a way, keep the vibes up. We got a big Game 3 tomorrow night. We got a big Game 2 tonight for some hockey fans out there. So, I mean, just vibes got to stay high. Playoffs, they are a marathon, not a sprint.
Nick, how you doing today, brother?
I guess better than I was yesterday, which is all you could ask for. I mean, I am still dumbfounded about how you lose that game. That's probably the most heartbroken that I felt probably since Joe Flacco threw 2 pick sixes back to back against the Houston Texans. So ready to jump into it. Obviously, we had a nice day off of the factor yesterday. Wasn't really a day off though. We were all at Progressive Field with Bayerga for the Calling Companies Championship Media, day, which was awesome. But yeah, it's been I feel like it's been a grieving period. Down 0-2, like
You are wearing black,
and you're probably not getting your guys back for Game 3. It's rough.
What's up, Rob?
Nah, I'm feeling good, guys. Listen, you got to make the best out of sad days. So yesterday, got on the good old PS5, fired up a Madden franchise.
Ooh, with who?
With the Browns and my boys.
Were you cooking?
Sanders. Hey, listen, we're
what did you
5-1
cook up?
right now.
What'd you cook
5-1.
up?
Yo, I re-signed Amari Cooper. We got one of the top offenses in the NFL.
Is he still valid?
Dude, he's still like an 85 on the Madden. I don't know if he'll be that high next year, but the offense is tough. Shout out Deontay Johnson. He's got pretty good speed, so he's been out there making some plays too. Judkins and Sampson in the backfield, 2 tight end sets with Njoku and Fannin. We're so back, man.
Did we come up with something better than rock and roll or thunder and lightning for Judkins and Sampson?
We have until September, right? So we got some time.
Earth and wind.
I would really say you've got till like the end of the year.
You're saying enough Jerome Ford snaps to prevent it?
Could be.
Okay.
All right, guys, let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Down 0-2 in the Eastern Conference semifinals, outscored by the Pacers 8-0 in the final 50 seconds. One of the most epic choke jobs I've seen in a while. Probably, I think, in Cleveland sports related, maybe the biggest choke I've seen since the Browns played the Jets. Nick, funny you mentioned Joe Flacco. Well, Joe Flacco was on the Jets at the time when you had the epic meltdown, the onside kick. They scored twice in what felt like 2 plays, and you somehow managed to lose that game. Horrible clock management for the Cavaliers, just a huge choke job. Now you're looking on the outside down 0-2 as the series shifts to Indiana.
Rob, you got to be able to inbound the ball. That's like my big, like, how can you not? This should have, in an alternate reality, this series is 1-1. Donovan Mitchell finished the game with an even 50 burger and a big fat Cavs W because they were able to inbound the ball. He gets fouled, makes both free throws, and that's how the game ends. I don't get how you can't get that ball in.
I don't know how we can't get the ball in. I don't know how we just fail to box out on any free throws. I mean, that's when you start up basketball, like coaches, like, and this is as you progress too. Like they always tell you, offensive rebounds on free throws unacceptable. Coaches are gonna say that no matter what. You got to box out. Everyone's standing right there. There's no tricks. He's right there. You're right next to him. You got to step into your man, get physical, box him out. We're complaining about people holding us on inbounds plays, but the refs haven't been calling it all game, guys. They're letting you play. Put your foot in between his 2 legs, put your shoulder in his chest, and get him off you, man. Like, this is playoff basketball. It gets physical. They let a little bit of stuff go, but it's just unacceptable how we just threw that game away yesterday. Just absolutely terrible execution down the stretch. Just couldn't finish it, man. I mean, just heartbreaking, dude.
The series not over? Series not over, but with the injury bug and exactly what you said, the lack of physicality, especially down low, and the lack of rebounding there, like it series not over, but it bears into questioning, like, is this team built for postseason basketball? Like, or is this just one of those really good regular season teams? I hate to feed into those narratives, especially down 3 guys, like they're down 3 players, key players right now, but it's just doing the little, like, even being down 3 players, there's no excuse to blow that 20-point lead. There's no excuse this thing shouldn't be 1-1. Like, I just can't get over it.
Is the inbounds pass, or are we putting that on Jerome or Max Strus?
I'd rather take the 5 there, but it's just like I don't know, man. Like that's an even blame. You put some on coach, you put some on the inbounder, you put some on the people. Like everyone just poorly. If it's a bad play, someone still could have made a play and like got their man off of them and created some separation. Strus could have made a better pass. Like there's just a lot of options there, but it's just overall team failure.
All right. Well, game 3 will be tomorrow night, Friday in Indiana. We don't know who the Cavs are going to be able to put out there if they're healthy. I'm talking about Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter. I believe the first injury report comes out today. I'm sure they'll all be listed as questionable. They don't have to really announce anything. It could be a game time decision Friday. How do we feel going into game 3 on the road, potentially without those 3 yet again?
I mean, it's just you can't talk enough about what Donovan Mitchell's done and how he's risking his body to go out there and be with his team. I mean, Rob, we talked about this a bit pre-show, but a calf strain is nothing to mess with. Like that's the kind of thing where that could not easily, but knock on wood, that could develop into being something a lot worse that happens to your leg. And he's going out there and battling. And I was reading an article today on The Athletic.
Is he him?
Yeah, he is him. Donovan Mitchell.
Did he put on his
in fact
cape?
him.
Top 2 Cav all time. Top 2.
I don't know if he went like.
Are we
Tony
ready
Romo
for
level.
that debate?
I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that with anybody. Top 2 Cav.
I think consensus almost, I would say. But the thing that worries me, and again, I can't sit here and talk about pain tolerance because I'm not in their position. Like I can't sit here and tell you that if I broke my thumb, I would be out there playing basketball. So I'm not going to rip on those guys too hard for it.
You broke your leg and you were moving?
Yeah, we're moving around. But the thing about this organization is that like it's pain tolerance. That's what they're saying is it's pain tolerance for all 3 of these guys. It's if they can go, they will go. They would be listed as out if they could hurt themselves any further than what they have right now. And after the way you went out last year, where Jared Allen missed the last 8 games with the rib injury, and Donovan Mitchell missed the last 2 games, like it's starting to become a recurring theme almost with this group, which worries me a little bit. And at a certain point, I hate to say it, you just got to sack up there, and someone's got to go out there and play basketball and get it done.
I hate to say, like the Garland thing is legit. Like I would hate for this to come to fruition, but it almost feels like we're at the point with the amount of people that are calling DG soft where if you go down 0-3, like he might just have to play game 4 and hobble around for a quarter just to show that he's truly he can't move. You know, he can't. The toe is so swollen. He could run straight, but he can't really move laterally. You can't stop and start. I wouldn't hold my breath on having any of these guys for game 3. Ryan, like you said, we'll see what the injury report says. The last time we heard an update on Mobley, too, he was non-weight bearing. So it's like, well, that's not a guy that could play in 2 or 3 days if he can't even put any weight on the leg. And then DeAndre Hunter, if the thumb was dislocated 2 days ago, it's probably still going to be dislocated Friday. You know, that's the thing with the thumb too, is like Rob and I were kind of talking about it. Like I used to jam my fingers playing basketball all the time. Shout out Miss Zabo. I used to, you know, she used to be courtside. I used to shut my eyes and she would just pull my fingers right out, tape them bad boys up. You'd be good to go. But the thing with the thumb is you can't really, there's no buddy finger for a thumb. You can't really tape it up like this. You wouldn't be able to play. So I doubt any of these guys go. I'm just sick about it.
If we come in on Monday's show and we're down 3-0 doomsday scenario,
we got a game Sunday night as well. It could be
where does the conversation shift in terms of the core 4? The regular season was historic, but it's all for nothing.
You can't really.
You get to the same spot you did last year with a better team, and lose to a worse team in the Pacers than you did the Celtics last year. I think that's fair to say.
It's just another wasted year, man. I mean, with injuries, that's the problem. You just can't say anything. It's like I wholeheartedly think we deal with the Pacers easily if everyone's healthy and playing, but it just simply didn't happen. And that's sports sometimes, man. Like it kind of is what it is. And I mean, the Pacers have gotten really lucky against the injury bug the past couple of years with the teams they played. There's been stars out, but I mean, you play who's in front of you, and we play with who's out there. I loved the effort in Game 2. It was really there. Like I didn't have a lot of confidence going in, but a lot of guys stepped up. Some guys stepped down. We haven't really talked about that yet, but I mean, it's just really tough with that much of your team out. 3 of your key franchise pieces just not there. It's it's tough, man. I can't hold that against them that they got hurt at this time, because sprained ankles, turf toe, and possibly a broken thumb. It just is what it is. I can't just say go play.
Right.
It's also hard to expect like an organization like the Cavs, who are noted by players and organizations alike for giving guys as much time as they need to recover from injuries, or like if you need to sit out a game in the regular season, like you're not getting shamed like you might in some places. Is there at all a factor of maybe if you, and we're great at like preventing injuries, it seems, in the regular season, could there be an element of like, hey, I haven't had to go out there and kind of fight it all season long until now? Like, do you think that plays in at all?
Nah.
Well, it sucks because this whole season was Donovan Mitchell played the least amount of minutes in his career per game. I think the same was for, it was either Mobley or Garland. Like, you almost had, because of how deep Kenny could go in his rotations, you almost had a sense of a built-in load management, if that makes sense. So you go back to last year when everyone was beat up in the playoffs. JB was playing his main guys probably too much, and you were injured, and that makes sense. But now you're sitting here where the regular season went so well, you were able to get rest for guys like Donovan Mitchell. And obviously Donovan Mitchell's not fully healthy. Nobody in the NBA that's playing today is fully healthy. It's just over the course of 90-plus games, whatever it is now, you're not going to be fully healthy. But it does suck because you managed it so well in the regular season, and now that's going to be your downfall possibly.
At the end of the day, it's just luck, though. I mean, these guys aren't going to need surgery. They're all going to need like a couple weeks, which is just, you don't get that in the playoffs. You don't have a couple weeks. Like you could roll your ankle anytime. It might not even be basketball. You could just be walking down the steps and sprain your ankle. You could dislocate a finger doing anything. You could jam it. It's just, it's really just unlucky. You need luck. Luck is a part of winning a championship. Like that's not mentioned enough. You need the skill, but the luck, how lucky you have to do to be 1 out of 32 or 1 out of 30 in the NBA is just, it's understated.
All right, guys, if we come in on Monday, like I said, we're down 3-0. Ultimately, you lose the series. Do you think there will be any merit to people? Because there'll be people that come out of woodwork and say this falls on Kenny Atkinson, and you're not confident in him to be the one that you thought was going to overtake JB to get him to the next level.
Have to see how the next 2 games go for that. The only time I've been real disappointed in Kenny was kind of the last game, just with how the team was. But, again, not all on him, not playing the game. I would have liked to see him switch up the rotation a little more. I thought Jerome did not have it at all. It was one of those nights for him. And when you play, sometimes you have nights where you can't throw a rock in the ocean. And that's what was happening. And he was kind of out there costing us. And so, I mean, I get Craig Porter Jr. is a young guy, but he was playing well, so you might give him a chance. Like, you could go either way with coaching. You could be the coach that's gonna say, I'm gonna play him no matter what. That's my guy. He got me here. He's not making a shot. I'm just gonna keep letting him go. Eventually, 1 for 14 is gonna turn into like 10 for 30. Or you could be the coach that says, I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna go to the next guy and see what they got me. So I mean, it's just schools of thought. But if you compete in these next 2 games, I'm not gonna say Kenny just isn't the right coach. We just got unlucky.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I do think, like, there will be people, that will try to go there. There will be people that try to go there with the core 4 too. Again, just because, and that's the thing. I would, if it were me, I would run it back with Atkinson. I would run it back with the whole core 4. Maybe try to add a piece or something. Some sort of small trade this offseason, but mostly try to run it back with the whole group. That might be unpopular, and it might not happen. Like, this is the NBA. You only get so many cracks at it with the same group before somebody becomes, discontent, before, the GM decides that he wants to shake things up. Like, NBA, I know NFL is like not for long. Like, we should think of some sort of acronym like that for the NBA, because just because you think you have something good that could be sustained, like, it oftentimes doesn't work out that way. The Denver Nuggets, that had so many failed cracks at it, and then finally broke through with Jamal Murray and the Joker. Like, that's few and far between. Does that happen?
Nick, you also touched on it in the group chat a couple of days ago after the Cavs dropped that game too. You sent over the current odds of Donovan Mitchell's team for next season, and it wasn't exactly minus 2,000 for Donovan Mitchell to be a Cleveland Cavalier next year either.
That's the way the NBA works. You never know.
Depends on the lot. There's a lot that could be going on behind the scenes that we don't know about for that. So I don't know. I think he loves it here, but I can see storylines coming out in a couple months where it's like he's really upset about some stuff that happened. But I don't think we have those type of guys in the locker room, so I think he'll stay.
All right, well, the Cavs have a choke under their belt. Thunder have a choke under their belt in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Oh, the Celtics, man. 2 chokes in the Eastern Conference semifinals for them. They're down 0-2 as that series shifts to New York. We'll talk about that when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson, and Fairway Ford. Fairway Ford, Ohio is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state of Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks. You can see their employee pricing for everybody. You pay less than what they pay. Pre-tariff pricing on all Fords, over 500 on their lot in stock. So don't let a short drive to Canfield, Ohio prevent you from saving literally thousands of dollars on your new ride. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, lowest pricing, and the same hometown level of service. Scan that QR code or go give their website a visit, fairwayfordohio.com. Again, that's fairwayfordohio.com. Fairway Ford, Ohio, never chokes. Boston Celtics choked twice now in the Eastern Conference semifinals, blow another 20-point lead. They go down 0-2 as the series shifts to New York. Rob, chucking up threes is not working for them against the Knicks.
Yeah, they gotta switch it up, man. I don't know what the deal is, but they just keep because you get up every game, so it's working to a degree. But I haven't seen any adjustments from the Celtics at all. They're saying we're doing what we do, and I get it, but at the end of the day, it's costing you, man. You're chucking up threes, awful possessions, quick shots. You're running no time off the clock. So then this tough team that's going to go inside, they're going to take the tough shots. They have the clutchest player on the floor and the toughest shot maker. They're going to dig back in the game every time. And you guys just keep thinking, if we make a couple threes, I get it. But someone's got to start taking charge. And I mean, you go like 8 minutes without a field goal yesterday, and no one's getting to the basket. You only get like 4 free throws in that time too. Someone's got to change it up, man. And Jason Tatum, I don't know, man. These face of the league allegations, like these performances, this is real rough for him, man. So.
Mikal Bridges, 14 points in the fourth quarter after having 0 entering the last period. Obviously, you got the steal on Jason Tatum in that last possession. Nick, is 63s a game? Is that not a sustainable winning formula?
I mean, dude, my thing has always been, especially in the modern NBA, like if you're making them, keep shooting them. But if you're not making them and you still find a way to get up 60, that's how you're going to lose ball games. That's how you're going to find yourself in an 0-2 hole. It reminds me of the Houston Rockets, like back a couple of years ago when they had James Harden. And I think they went 0 for like 20 something and they were still shooting them. And everybody was like, why are you still shooting them? You haven't made a single one and you're still chucking. I don't know. How about this for a question? Who's in the worst 0-2 hole, the Cavs or the Celtics? Because I would argue the Celtics. I know Kristaps Porzingis hasn't been 100% right, but now you got to go to Madison Square Garden down 0-2. I'd rather go to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Caitlin Clark ain't playing. It'll be packed, but I think the Celtics are in a way worse way than the Cavs.
I was going to ask, who do you guys, if you had to put money on it, who would you put money on first to come back down 0-2, the Cavs or the Celtics?
Got to be the Cavs. I mean, just because you're looking at it from the lens of the Celtics haven't had 3 guys out in the way that we have. But I don't know. Going on the road, it's been weird in the NBA this year. Like in the playoffs in its entirety, home teams are only 26-24 right now so far in the playoffs. So it's not like home court advantage has really been a massive thing. So I think both these teams still got a shot to go and do something on the road.
Maybe I'm a pessimist. I would probably bet Boston because they have their guys. Like I'm very pessimistic as we currently tape this Thursday morning about the Cavs getting any one of Garland, Mobley. or DeAndre Hunter back. I just don't think that's really in the cards. So I'm just not optimistic about that at all.
I'd take Boston just as easily as they're missing all the shots. Next couple games, they could go on a hot streak, and then next thing you know, New York can't score with them at all. And I mean, Thibs is really, he always plays the guys. So I mean, as this edges on, the Knicks are going to start to get a little more worn down because you're going to have guys playing like 45 minutes. So I would take Boston. But I mean, if either team, New York or Indiana, gets one game at home, series is over. So I mean, they're both in a terrible spot either way.
For the Knicks too, to quote you here, Rob, Josh Hart, the LeBron James of Isaac Okoro's,
Yes,
right?
sir, LeBron.
Coming out, 23-point game last night. They got him going offensively on the wing as well. It's what we were talking about on the show Tuesday, moving the ball around for the Knicks more.
I think Oklahoma City took their choke personally. They blow out the Nuggets 149-106. Shai drops 34. 8 players in double digits from the Thunder. Shows you how deep they are. 14 on the bench. From Joe, Wiggins, 10 points. Mitchell pours in 10. Thunder look like the best team in the NBA again.
I mean, they just, they're the team that really responded the best way from their loss. And I mean, Denver, I think each team that won game one on the road was satisfied. But the Thunder were the only team that came out in game two and said, we're going to stomp out all their hopes. We're going to make them be satisfied with that. And we're going back to the away games tied. The Celtics were up. They had them. They never put their foot on their throats. They let the Knicks hang around. So then when they hang around, it goes from, oh, we got one game. It's cool. Now we could come back in. We got a chance to get two when you could have put us away in the second quarter. Same thing with the Cavs. We're up. We let the Pacers hang around a little bit. We were up 20 at one point. We let them hang around, stay in the game. Next thing you know, they're like, oh, we got a chance. We might as well try to get two. So, I mean, that's really just what it was. Thunder did a great job last night, came out and gave the Nuggets no shot.
Yeah, I mean, game 1, 2, the Thunder got the shit rebounded out of them the whole entire game, and they turned the ball over a lot. You turn it over now over 2 games, SGA, who wasn't really the issue, obviously, in game 1, he only has 3 turnovers in 70 minutes so far in this series, so he's moving the ball around well. They didn't get totally smoked on the glass last night.
There we go.
So, yeah, I know, took a try there. So, I mean, yeah, things are looking up and up for them.
Last series, Warriors-Timberwolves, Warriors 1-0 lead. They tip off game 2 tonight. Minnesota's a 10.5-point favorite. Curry, no timetable on his return. Are the Warriors cooked?
I don't care if they got KD back. If Ant is bald, they're not losing a game the rest of the playoffs. That guy, we're about to see like an untucked Kyrie, hoodie Melo type of run out of Anthony Edwards. The legend killer is going to keep it going.
Yeah, Curry hamstring injury, that's just awful for the game of basketball. Really hope he could find a way to get healthy. Don't want him to force it, though, because you could really mess that up. That's a really delicate injury. Unfortunate, though. We're going to still see a competitive series. Jimmy will be the first option. We're going to get playoff Jimmy still. But we could have really saw a classic with Curry still playing. But, yeah, I would just – it's all Timberwolves now.
I know, and I think people will get, like, the sucker bet of the day, I would say, would probably be Golden State money line for the people that box score watched, game 1. And you would think, like, okay, Golden State, found a way to win without Steph. I believe Curry only played like 13 minutes in game 1. So, you look at that and you see that the Warriors were still able to win. Obviously, the defense was awesome. But that's the sucker bet of the day. It's going to be Timberwolves, even this series up tonight.
All right, what's in a name? The Utah Hockey Club finally has a name. It's not as cool as Yeti. I think we all agree that would have been the coolest name, but we'll talk about what it is when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. The Utah Hockey Club finally has a new name. Not as cool if it would have been the Utah Garage Beer, personally. But Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager as well as classic lime. None of frills, no bitterness, none of that IPA taste. Scan that QR code or go visit their website, drinkgaragebeer.com, to find local retailers who sell garage beer near you. Jack, the Utah Hockey Club finally has a name.
You know, the smoke has risen. Most people thought there'd be a new pope because of this, but no. We finally have a name for the Utah Hockey Club. Did the NHL get their pants pulled down and embarrassed by a water bottle company on the name Yeti? Possibly. But the news is broken. Presenting, drumroll please, the Utah Mammoth.
Do you like it? I think the jerseys look sick.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of. I think hockey has a lot of good subliminal logos. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Minnesota Wild logo before, but it's like, it looks like a forest, but it's actually a bear head at the same time. It's kind of a cool thing. I love how they have like the mountaintops as like the mammoth head, I guess. The one thing that sucks though is there's actually a PLL team named the Colorado Mammoth, and they were pretty upset that Utah's the Mammoth, and the Colorado lacrosse team, their hashtag let them know is Tusk up. And then
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Well, the Mammoth just
Reminds me
made
of the movie
theirs.
Tusk.
Well, the Mammoth just like pluralized it, made it Tusks up now. So like
Nah.
they just stole their whole flow bar for bar.
That
Is this
ain't
an
it.
expansion team? Or did
No,
they...
so this team was the Phoenix Coyotes for a long time, and like no one wanted them there. And then their shitty old stadium just like stopped working, so they had to play in Arizona State's rink, which had like 2,000 people. So they played NHL games in front of it was a whole thing.
Okay.
It got bad. It was like the Flint Tropics in real life.
So we're vibing with the Mammoth.
Yeah,
are tough
I
jerseys.
wanted to. I had a good dialogue with Nick about this yesterday, so I wanted to get Nick's thoughts on the name because he has the correct take above all correct takes when it comes to this new naming process.
I like it. You know, I do. I think the Mammoth is fine. A little confused about the you know, how should I say, the grammar of it? Like, so plural mammoths is just mammoth. You know, like why are they not the mammoths with an S on it? But I digress.
It's like moose.
Yeah, I guess moose isn't mooses, or meese, but I don't know. I just think mammoth is kind of a fictional thing, isn't it? So
Yeah.
No, they were
Is
a
it-
real thing.
No. Actually, yes, they totally were. Yeah, woolly mammoth. Yeah.
well, they
Last,
were.
they died-
yeah,
last
but-
one was alive 4,000 years ago, matter of fact.
4,000. That's
Yeah,
that's a
like
little bit
come on.
surprising.
And,
Kind of.
Ice Age
yeah,
type beat?
so how are we gonna get hung up on whether it has an S on it or not? You know, like it was 4,000 years ago. That's
I like
fascinating.
it. I like the jerseys. I like the name.
Mhm.
All right,
Color scheme.
here's my thing with it though. Just once, when one of these teams goes through a naming process, right? Like Washington football team, you know, when they drop the Redskins to become the Commanders, when you roll out with a temporary branding, like the Guards never did it. They were Indians. There was like a couple months where we didn't know what the name was going to be.
The
That was through
CBC.
the offseason, and then boom, Guardians. They never went Cleveland Baseball Club or our Cleveland baseball team, whereas Washington went Washington football team for a whole year. Obviously, Utah started out Utah Hockey Club. Now they're going to flip to the Mammoth, not Mammoths. Just once, I want to see one of these teams just say, we scrap the process and we're going to keep the temporary name. Like, I still think like the Washington Commanders should be the Washington football team.
That was
All
one
right.
of the coolest names in sports history.
It was
so I
so
totally agree
the
with you.
waft, you know, like the uniforms were so funny because it just said Washington on the front. Like, I don't know. I think, you know, they try too hard sometimes. And Mammoth is cool. So I don't necessarily, but Utah Hockey Club is cool. You know, UHC
Yeah, I like
kind of
UHC.
has like a thing to it. I don't know. I just once I want to see somebody be like, yeah, we completely scrapped the process and we're just gonna go. Maybe it'll be like the next racist team, you know, that has to
Maybe
conform.
like the
like,
Chicago Hockey Club in a couple years. I could see
yeah,
Blackhawks going
yeah.
out the door
Like,
sometime.
so maybe they'll just say, you know what, like we were the Blackhawks for so long, you know, we're just gonna roll with, you know, Hockey Club. Like, we're not even gonna try to give it a new, like, you know, Blackbirds or whatever,
Yeah,
you know,
some stupid,
people will
yeah.
suggest. Like, just roll with Hockey Club, embrace it. It's
Like,
big in like
North Dakota.
soccer.
North
and
Dakota
stuff.
used to be the Fighting Sioux, and they had a cool logo, and now they're
Yeah.
the Nighthawks.
What-
Nighthawks is the dumbest name of all
Yeah,
time.
that's dumb. That's dumb. Like, I think really the one that will never change would be like Florida State, because they
Noles,
give
yeah.
so much to the Seminole tribe. But for the rest of them, I would love one just to be like, yeah, like we had this name. Like honestly, it would have worked for the Indians too. Like we were the Indians forever. Anything else that we try to name it outside of Indians might just come across dumb. We're gonna just lean into the city and be Cleveland baseball team, Cleveland baseball club.
Let's talk worst rebrands in all of sports. I have an early contender. I think the worst one is the New Orleans Pelicans. I think it's a
that's a
goofy
bad
name.
one.
I think
Yeah.
they have a goofy ass sponsor, Smoothie King Arena, if that's still what it is. And every time, like, their court was super goofy, their jerseys are goofy.
It's a really
Yeah.
bad one.
I think they're the
That's
most
actually-
goofy team.
That's actually where my head went at first too, Ryan, because I love the New Orleans Jazz. Like, and it made sense that they were the Jazz in New Orleans and not in Utah, because there's no jazz. Actually, I'm sure there's jazz music in Utah, but
You like
they
jazz?
had the green and yellow. You like jazz, but no.
Shout out to
you're,
B-Movie.
you're totally right, and also like I don't know why, but my head, whenever I think of like that general like crescent area down there in the southeastern United States, like I kind of always think of the BP oil spill and just like the whole connotation of that, and like the Pelicans. Like, to be totally honest with you guys, Pelicans really didn't have a great time when that was all going on. Like a bunch of them aren't here anymore because of it. So it's a very geographically and history laden wrong name in my opinion.
And to like the when you went from like Charlotte, which like the Hornets branding is legendary. You know, like I had when I was a kid, like I had a Charlotte Hornet or a New
Who
Orleans
didn't? They were
Hornets.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, snapback, and then even like how like the Charlotte Bobcats are somehow cooler and had cooler branding, and they were horrible, but it's somehow cooler than the New Orleans Pelicans. I also think what the Pelicans have working against them is the fact that they literally have nothing to hang their hat on. Like they had, you know, a couple of years with Anthony Davis, and he was shipped to the Lakers, where you ultimately watch him win a ring. You get your hope up for Zion Williamson, who at the time, you know, people thought Zion would be talked about the same way we're talking about Wemby, and that hasn't worked at all. Like, since their inception, the Hornets, I mean, not the Hornets, the Pelicans have just done nothing.
Should we take a vote to disband the Pelicans on the show today?
Is that our next?
Yeah, that could be our next.
they
Are
could
we
be the
sending?
similar organization.
Are we
Yeah.
sending the Pelicans to Alcatraz?
Should we relegate
That's
them?
such a bad name, and the Hornets unis used to be so tough.
Yeah.
Man. Like that.
I like the pinstripe uniforms that they wear now.
The Pelicans.
No.
Oh.
I hate the Hornets.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like the Chris Paul back in the day pinstripes. Those
That's
are some
what I
of
was
the coolest
thinking of.
jerseys.
Those jerseys
ever.
were
Yeah.
tough, bro. That light blue with the
Mhm.
mix-ins with the yellows, man. Like, that was great, bro. Yeah, you hit it on the head, Ryan. The Pelicans, awful.
All right, what's the next team that needs a rebrand? I
Ooh.
say the Oakland Athletics, but that's kind of already built in.
Yeah, that's a built-in.
Yeah.
We'll have to throw a flag on that one,
needs,
sadly.
that actually needs one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would it be like crazy to change the Chargers after they went to LA? I feel like it's been like low key out of place ever since they've gone there. Like, it might be time to become something else.
How about the Browns? Can we talk about, like, is there a chance to, like, this whole...
Can never change it.
But I mean, like, the Deshaun era
Can
was just
never
so
do it.
ugly. We can't win. We
Stop
haven't hosted
it.
a playoff game in my
Can't do it.
lifetime.
What would you name them?
I don't know. Maybe just cut it clean and restart in Cleveland with
Would
the
you
name.
change
Cleveland
our
football.
jersey
That
colors?
would be the Cleveland football team.
CFT. We can wear red and blue like the rest of the city does, and then
Oh.
we can be like Pittsburgh, and all the teams wear the same colors. It'll be cool.
That would be so gross if my football team was in red and blue. I can't
Yeah,
get
that
behind
would be
one,
bad.
bro. Can't get behind it.
No.
Got to be the Browns forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. Jerry's World. Welcome, George Pickens. We'll talk about that when we get back
So
on the Big
excited.
Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson, George Pickens. I think he's tall enough to ride all the rides at Jerry's World. He's going to Dallas. They get George Pickens in a 2027 sixth-round pick. Steelers in return a 2026 third and a 2027 fifth-round pick. Seems like a short-term win, if that's what you want to call it, for Dallas. George Pickens is good, but does he have it all together in the head? That's the question.
Elite crash outs and content coming from NFL Twitter with him on the Cowboys now. I cannot wait to see the first time George Pickens runs a deep ball and Dak checks it down to like Jake Ferguson or something on a 3rd and 8. And then Pickens is beating up like whoever he's playing. Is Lattimore on the Commanders now? Yeah, that's going to be rough, bro. He's going to be down there. It's going to be an RKO. Like I cannot wait to see that. It's perfect fit. It's good content. You love to see an emotional receiver in Dallas. You know, he's gonna play good. Dak's gonna give him his shots, but it's gonna be more drama than anything with the Cowboys. We know how it usually goes.
You know, when your ego is just as big as Jerry Jones happens to be, you almost want someone who can come in and challenge it a little bit, just butt some heads. That's exactly what George Pickens is gonna do. And Rob, you're perfectly right. Like, it's just gonna be fun content all season long. The Dallas media, they're smart, they're trained well. They've been doing this with America's team for about 50-some odd years now. They're going to know how to talk to George Pickens. They're going to know how to get the right answers. It's going to be a really fun roller coaster. Like, you probably are going... It's like... You remember how... I forget if it was this year or last year, but Will Levis would have a really funny screenshot pose after throwing an interception every single week. There's going to be a George Pickens highlight that comes out of Dallas every single week this year.
Nick, we vibing with George and the Big D?
Yeah, I like you guys. I see it. You know, this doesn't really change. I don't think too much for the Cowboys or for the Steelers. The one thing that's fascinating from both fronts is obviously Pittsburgh makes this trade because they don't want to pay George Pickens. So now, okay, Dallas, this is your headache to figure out a contract extension for a guy that has been nothing but a headache on the field and off of it. His agent is David Mulligetta, who's the same agent for Deshaun Watson and also has the same agent as Micah Parsons. And Jerry Jones has already said that he doesn't even know who this guy is in talking about the Micah Parsons contract extension. So good luck to that whole thing, figuring out a contract for Pickens and Parsons with the same agent who's notorious for getting guys overpaid. That should be fun. And then on the Steelers side, you get a 3rd-round pick. I believe they have 3 third-round picks next year because they have a comp pick as well. The Steelers are firmly up there with the Browns, the Los Angeles Rams, who will have 2 first-round picks as well next year, and the New Orleans Saints as 4 teams going into the 2026 NFL draft, which, oh, by the way, is in Pittsburgh, that will be looking for probably their quarterback of the future.
Oh, Omar Khan, the con artist had it planned out perfectly all along. Nick, with the Cowboys, though, you got to think, if they're getting Pickens, they got to send out a big contract somewhere, right?
I think so. I don't think, big contract. Like, he's not going to get what Justin Jefferson got last year, what Jamar Chase and T. Higgins got this year. Like, probably somewhere. I wouldn't pay him really at all. I would have done what Pittsburgh did, but I think he finds himself somewhere in the $25 million a year range, which is a lot of money, but he's a good receiver and puts up good numbers. It's just that you got to deal with the rest of it.
This is going to be a very fun situation in Dallas because there's so much turmoil. People don't like Dak in Dallas. He can't get it done in the playoffs. Micah Parsons, you have a contract looming for him. CeeDee Lamb is your best player by far. You've been looking for a wide receiver, too, for what feels like forever since Amari Cooper got out of there. You've been throwing to Michael Gallup, Kevontae Turpin, Brandon Cooks, etc. Just a bunch of guys. George Pickens, the talent is there, but you talk about a head case, and you mentioned everybody knows about Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, guys that the Steelers depart with. They're usually smart and get ahead of it because they know something's not right between the ears with these guys. And what a better place for George Pickens to go than Dallas. We'll see how that goes. But we got to take another break when we get back. Fastest 2 minutes in hockey, Jack. Are you ready?
Let's see if I can get it out in 2, yeah.
All right, fasten your seatbelts. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pannone, Rob Watson wrapping it up, Jack, with the world's fastest 2 minutes on your count.
All right, let's do it. NHL playoffs
2
last
minutes.
night. Here we go. Starting now, we had Game 2 on the Eastern Conference side of it in the semifinals. Toronto Maple Leafs, guys, haven't won a title since 1967. Can they get back over the hump? Could it finally be the year they make it out of the second round? Have not in my lifetime. And oh, boys, are we off to a fast start. Playing the defending Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, up 2-0 now. 4-3 victory in Game 2. Max Pacioretty, Patches, turn back the clock night. Seems like it had 2 points in the victory. Willie Stiles, William Nylander coming up big. And the Wonderwall himself, Joseph Wall, gets the win in net. Over to the Western Conference. We had Game 1 on that side of the bracket. Who do we have?
Oh, don't choke
Winnipeg.
now.
No, yeah, Winnipeg in Dallas. Sorry, early morning. Mikko Ronson in the Moose once again comes out. Another hat trick. Hat tricks in back-to-back games now. Had at least 3 points in all 3 of the last 3 games so far. And man, are the Stars looking like the best team in the league. Jason Robertson, their best player, comes back last night as well. That's all we got in the NHL. 2 big games last night.
that's
Jack,
under a
you
minute.
killed it.
T-minus 1 minute.
That's exactly
Oh,
a
that was-
minute.
wow,
The
that was-
fastest minute? Cold.
Wow,
Cold.
Jack, with a
With the
minute,
mess up in
with
there,
a
too.
minute to spare. Maybe we need
Yeah.
to make it the 1 minute.
T-minus
Well,
50
we only have
seconds.
1 game tonight, so but it's my team, so we'll probably hit about a minute again.
All right, well, you want to end this bad boy putting our first person in Alcatraz?
Yeah, is it official? We have the graphic up, guys. The inmates that run the asylum over here at the Big Factor have decided that we are going to make Alcatraz a permanent daily segment. We have added the New Orleans Pelicans. We will
be
be
in there
seeing
tomorrow.
Zion in there tomorrow.
Jack, make sure we update the graphic with having everyone on it at once.
Oh yeah, no, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Zion will be sitting right next to that man right there, whose name I forgot, but it's Matt something.
Matt
that was
Weiss. Get him
Matt
outta
Weiss,
here.
Michigan OC.
Get him outta
Creep,
here, man.
Certified lover boy. Certified pedophile.
Wow.
What, man? Get him out of here, man.
A minor.
Thank God Alcatraz is back open, guys. We're finally evolving and healing as a country. Now we can send people to the Rock in San Francisco. All right, guys, that's all the time we have here on the Big Factor. Huge shout out to Fairway Ford. Huge shout out to Garage Beer.
man.
Huge not shout out to Matt Weiss, you weirdo. We'll be back tomorrow. Same people, same time. Peace out.